Hi.
Hi.
I don't know if it's the time of year or the weather or the calendar or what's going on, but it's that time where we just kind of feel a little bit burnt out. Whether that's because of whatever's going on with our kids or the programs or families, or sometimes it just gets to that point where we're just feeling like, ugh. So although we're feeling like that, we do have a couple things that we try to do that we thought we could share with you guys, and we'd love for you to let us know what works when you're feeling burnt out. So the most important thing to remember is to take care of yourself. So
Make sure you're taking time for yourself. Do things that you enjoy outside of work. I know that some days you just feel like that's all you're doing. If you could work 24/7, it's sometimes not even enough to get things done. Some days I'm awake at 5 or 5:30 in the morning and I'm working on emails. Like, why? Why is that happening? The biggest thing that we need to remind ourselves is that stuff will get done at some point in time. Take time for yourself. Do what you enjoy doing. Exercise if that's what you enjoy doing. If it's not what you enjoy doing, exercise.
it's good for you.
It's good for you. It decreases anxiety. Do what you like. Take a spa day every so often, or go get your nails done. Go take a walk around the block. Do something that you enjoy. Call your husband if that's what you enjoy doing. Call your best friend. Call somebody just for 10 minutes, even just to make sure that you're getting some joy out of all of this. Another thing would be to set limits. Making sure that you're setting limits. Your time is your time. Making sure that you don't check emails between a certain time, or you make sure that you're not always taking phone calls. So listen, like, I only take phone calls until 6 o'clock at night. After 6 p.m., it's family time. Weekends are my family time. As much as I do love my clients and love what I'm doing, I need to have a life. I need to have a break as well.
I know one of the things that you trained me really well on when we started working together is that we don't do emails on the weekend. There's plenty of time to answer emails, and I was just trained really well to, like, don't need to send emails. I don't always follow this because it turns out that weekends are like most of the time that I have to answer emails. But it is important to set whatever those limits are that work for you. It's really hard when we come home from work and still have more work to do, but also have my kids at home. So I have to remind myself to, like, put it all away. And between the hours of 6 and 8, I have to be available, and it's hard because you can hear the emails coming in, or you can hear the things that need to get done, and it's going through your head. But you have to remind yourself to, like, be present with whatever it is you're doing that's going to fill your cup. Because if you're constantly filling other people's cups and doing things that make other people happy and accommodating other people, you're not going to have a full enough cup to be able to give to your clients and to your families.
The other thing is that we need to be realistic with what we can do. So, we all have so many balls up in the air at any given time. Not everybody is just a BCBA, not just, that's not the right word, but, we're BCBAs, we're, a spouse, we're parents, we're, a sister, we're someone's kid, we're this, we're that. We've got so many other commitments on the go as well, that we need to be realistic with what we can deliver. So, know what your limits are, and also know when to say no. And that's a really huge skill that I don't always take my own advice, but it's a really huge skill to learn, and I think that we're still learning as well.
Yeah, I've definitely learned that the hard way, where I've said yes to taking on a client or a project or something because I really just wanted to help, and the family was desperate, or they were asking me to do something that I didn't really feel comfortable doing, but I didn't want to say no. I didn't want to, like, let them down. And those situations usually cause the most amount of stress and the most amount of feeling like you're not, able, you're not competent. And if we could just do better at recognizing what our limits are, what we're good at, what we're not good at, and then be comfortable saying, no, this is not either my expertise. It's not something I'm comfortable doing. It's not something I think I'll be good at. Then it would decrease a lot of the stress coming from that.
So, and along with that, along with knowing when to say no, also know what your triggers are. So, as you are taking on a lot of work, or as, you're getting a lot put on your plate and you're starting to say no a little bit, also know when it's time to, get up and take a break. So, we always talk with our students about self-regulation and calming techniques, and, I'm feeling like this. We need to recognize this in ourselves as well, that, sometimes we just need to close whatever we're doing for 5 minutes and take some deep breaths, or squeeze our hands together, or take a walk around the block. We need to recognize that ourselves.
Yeah, and even if you're in a situation that, like, you're with a client, or you're dealing with a difficult situation with a therapist, with a client, with a parent, whatever it is, excuse yourself and like go to the bathroom or go and like know when you're feeling a little bit heightened and you're like, I need to take a little break or this is not going to go well.
As my daughter says, I need a TO.
Because you have to know yourself and you have to know that we're in a lot of stressful situations and it's okay to say, I need to be excused right now.
Absolutely. The last point that we want to talk about is really about accessing reinforcement. So, our students all the time, we talk about reinforcement, reinforcement, reinforcement. What about us? Everybody is motivated by something differently. So I'm motivated in this job because I love the kids. I love playing with kids, and that's how I got into this field in the first place. And now that I'm a BCBA and now that I'm an administrator, I don't play with kids very often. I train others to play with kids, but I don't get to sit in the chair much anymore, and I also don't get to do that. So on a regular basis, make sure that you're accessing your reinforcement. So, oftentimes I'll walk into my center and I'll kick somebody out of the chair just because I want to play with a student. I'll do that because that's my reinforcement and I need to access that so that I need to remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, doing what we're doing. There are so many parts of the job that we just have to do not because we wanted to, like the accounting and the bookkeeping and the management and training and all that stuff that sometimes I find myself at the end of the day being like I didn't do any BCBA job today. Like I was just dealing with people or putting out fires or dealing with an argument, and you feel kind of yucky that this isn't what I signed up for. So making sure that when you feel like that, getting back into what you like about what you're doing. I feel better already.
I do.
How about you?
I think I just want to go for a walk around the block is what I want to do. It was a nice vent session. Thanks, guys.
So let us know what works for you.
I'd love to hear other people's ideas.
We love to keep hearing what works because it's a constant struggle of like how to keep ourselves, like I said, full while filling other people. So,
and I also think it's one that nobody talks about, and I think we need to start talking about that. We talk about mental health with everybody else, but we forget to talk about it amongst ourselves. That burnout is a real thing, and we need to really be cautious of us getting to that brink. So let's start talking about this and let's start, discussing ideas of what other people do as well.